Far beyond the warm golden light of any star, there are worlds that wander alone through the endless darkness of interstellar space. These planets do not orbit anything. They have no sunrise, no sunset, and no sky filled with familiar light. They exist in permanent night, drifting silently through the cold emptiness between stars. These are rogue planets, also known as interstellar planets, and they represent one of the most unsettling possibilities in the universe. A planet can exist completely alone, separated from every source of warmth and light, moving forever through a cosmic void that stretches for trillions of kilometers in every direction. On Earth, every aspect of reality is connected to the presence of the sun. The sun provides energy, warmth, and stability. It defines the length of a year, drives the climate, and makes life possible. Without it, Earth would instantly begin transforming into a frozen, dead world. But rogue planets have no sun. They are completely on their own. How a planet becomes homeless. Most planets are born within massive rotating disks of gas and dust that surround young stars. Over millions of years, gravity pulls material together, forming planet-sized objects that settle into stable orbits. These planetary systems can remain stable for billions of years, but stability is never guaranteed. In the early days of a planetary system, chaos often dominates. Massive planets move, collide, and gravitationally interact with each other in unpredictable ways. These interactions can become violent enough to completely eject one of the planets from the system. This process is not gentle. When a planet is ejected, it does not slowly drift away. It is flung outward at enormous speeds, escaping the gravitational grip of its parent star forever. In a matter of hours, it crosses a boundary that it will never cross again. The star that once filled its sky begins shrinking into the distance. Its warmth fades, its light weakens. Within days or weeks, the star becomes nothing more than another point of light among billions. The planet becomes a cosmic orphan. From that moment forward, it begins a journey that may never end. The fall into absolute zero. As the rogue planet travels farther away from its original star, its temperature begins to drop. At first, the cooling is gradual. Oceans begin freezing at the surface. Ice spreads across continents. Weather patterns slow and eventually stop completely. The atmosphere begins to collapse as gases freeze and fall to the ground. Over thousands of years, the transformation becomes total. The planet loses its clouds. Its winds disappear. Its oceans become solid rock-like ice, extending kilometers deep. Eventually, the surface temperature drops below -200 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, even the air itself can freeze. Nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide solidify and settle onto the surface like snow made of atmosphere. The planet becomes silent and still. No storms, no movement, no sound, just endless darkness and cold. Darkness beyond human imagination. Standing on the surface of a rogue planet would mean experiencing a level of darkness that no human has ever seen. On Earth, even the darkest night still contains scattered light from the atmosphere, distant stars, and airglow. Human eyes always adjust to some level of illumination. But on a rogue planet, there is no nearby star. The nearest star might be trillions of kilometers away, appearing as nothing more than a slightly brighter dot in the sky. The landscape would be invisible. Mountains, craters, and frozen plains would exist in complete blackness. The only light would come from distant stars and the faint glow of the Milky Way stretching across the sky like a frozen river of light. It would be beautiful and terrifying, because that light would never warm the surface, not even slightly. The hidden heat inside the planet. Despite the frozen surface, something unexpected may still exist deep beneath. Heat. Planets are not born cold. They form through violent collisions and gravitational compression, which generate enormous amounts of internal heat. This heat can remain trapped inside the planet for billions of years. Even today, Earth's core remains extremely hot, reaching temperatures similar to the surface of the Sun. On a rogue planet, this internal heat could become the only remaining energy source. Deep beneath the frozen crust, far below the surface, there could be layers of liquid water trapped between rock and ice. These hidden oceans would be completely isolated from space, protected by kilometers of solid ice above them. In total darkness, without sunlight, these oceans could remain liquid purely because of the planet's internal heat. This means that rogue planets might not be entirely dead. They might still be active inside. They might still be evolving. Life without a star. On Earth, life depends heavily on sunlight. Plants convert sunlight into energy, forming the foundation of the food chain. But scientists have discovered ecosystems that do not depend on sunlight at all. Deep in Earth's oceans, near hydrothermal vents, entire ecosystems survive using heat and chemicals from the planet's interior. These ecosystems exist in total darkness. They do not need the sun. If similar conditions exist inside a rogue planet, life might survive there as well. Hidden beneath kilometers of ice, protected from the cold vacuum of space, microscopic organisms could exist in isolated oceans, living entirely off internal heat and chemical energy. These life forms would never see a star. They would never know light. Their entire universe would exist beneath a frozen shell, drifting endlessly through interstellar space. A journey that never ends. Once a planet becomes a rogue planet, there is almost nothing that can stop its journey. It will continue moving through the galaxy for millions, billions, or even trillions of years. It may pass near other stars, but the distances are so vast that capture is extremely unlikely. Most rogue planets remain alone forever. Over unimaginable spans of time, the rogue planet will slowly cool further. Its internal heat will fade. Its core will become cold. Its hidden oceans will freeze solid. Eventually, it will become completely frozen from surface to center. A silent sphere of rock and ice. The most common planets in the galaxy. One of the most surprising discoveries in modern astronomy is that rogue planets may be incredibly common. Some estimates suggest that there could be billions or even trillions of rogue planets in the Milky Way alone. There may be more rogue planets than stars. This means that most planets in the galaxy might not orbit stars at all, invisible in the darkness. This completely changes the way reality is imagined. The universe is not just filled with bright stars and orbiting worlds. It is filled with countless invisible planets drifting silently through the void. Entire worlds that no star will ever illuminate again. Earth's possible future. Even Earth is not guaranteed to remain in its orbit forever. Over extremely long timescales, gravitational interactions between planets can alter orbits. Passing stars can disrupt entire solar systems. Although the probability is extremely low, it is not zero. Earth could one day be ejected. If that happened, the transformation would begin immediately. The sun would shrink into the distance. The oceans would freeze. The atmosphere would collapse. Life on the surface would disappear. Earth would become another rogue planet, a frozen memory of a once living world. Eternal night. A rogue planet represents one of the most extreme forms of isolation that physics allows. It is a world without sunrise, a world without warmth, a world without hope of rescue. And yet, it continues to exist. It moves silently through the galaxy, carrying its history with it. It is proof that planets do not need stars to exist. They can survive alone in eternal darkness, forever.